Hey everybody, I am putting this disclaimer in at the beginning of my video. I am going to attempt to do my best to edit out every time my toddler screams or runs at me to ask for more food, but I don't guarantee that I'm going to be able to get everything out, so I apologize in advance if you have headphones on. She does scream like a banshee sometimes. And Bluey is on in the background, so you might hear both of those things throughout the course of this video. I appreciate you guys for being willing to watch it, regardless. And trigger warning for child screaming. This pile is insanity. We're just gonna move that for a second. I wanted to show you guys, I got a little trade with Monique. I got these really cute standard size notebooks. They're just grid notebooks for like travelers inserts. I got this cute little like press notebook with a spiral on the top. I got this really pretty, did not know it was gold foiled, grid notebook from Sterling Ink. Some to-do lists, which I love the long to-do lists. And then this is a B6 notebook, kind of like a traveler's insert, but it's B6 size instead. We got this Jot notebook, which is also approximately B6 size, spiral on the side. It is lined. And then also a composition notebook. It is also lined and B6 sized. So thank you, Monique, for the trade. Today I wanted to kind of show off some of the spreads. I have been bullet journaling for a little bit of time. And so I've taped off some of the bullet journals that I wanted to show, some spreads that kind of show where I started and what I'm doing now. So I have been bullet journaling since March of 2016. I've been bullet journaling since I found, I don't know that she's still on here, Boho Berry on YouTube. And so all of these are going to be Leuchtturm except for the last one. I have tried to collect all the colors. I tried to label all the sides once I was done with them. But yeah, if you want to see my spreads when I first started were very much inspired by Boho Berry and her style at the time, which was having a time blocker at the top and then the day, the temperature, and your tasks, and sometimes things that were going on. So every day was really similar to this. I really wanted to show off this spread because I must have found a bunch of doodles somewhere, but I don't really do this a whole lot anymore, take up a whole page just to doodle. And I think I should because it's really cute, and I was really excited when I found it. I did write in monthly calendars every single month. I wanted to show off this one because it is my birthday month, and so I wanted to show off how like vibrant I made my birthday month. I used washi to represent the different months like as I reached them. So the only indicator you have that we've changed the month is I put some washi down, which you could see from the side when you pulled it up. It's not very easy to find, so that's why I don't do that way anymore. And then at the time, I have these really cool weekly dashboards, which I still do a weekly dashboard, but it's not quite like this. Mostly because this took forever to draw out with like not a pen, not a ruler or anything like that. But I would have the days of the week on the side. I would have what we were planning to eat, and then some trackers and a weekly to-do list. At the beginning, I was very heavy with the colored markers and not so much any stickers, hardly any washi. I used the Staedtler fine liner set. I think I had like a set of 10, and I used them for everything. I only filled out about half of this book, not even. So After I was done with this one, we went into dark blue, and in dark blue, I lasted in this one for about 7 months, it looks like. I was still doing the monthly markers with washi tape. I really wanted to show up this spread because even though I didn't finish it, it's a really cool idea. At the time, I was not in a great place, as you can tell by all the red, but if I made it up into the green, it was a good day. I also thought it was really funny. I was going through and reading this spread. This is an affirmations log, and for some reason I thought that meant gratitude, not affirmations. So I wrote things like, yay for lean cuisine easiness, not understanding what the word affirmations meant. This is kind of what my weekly dashboard looked like at the time. So I was trying a vertical spread, which was very much inspired by Pretty Prints and Paper, I think, at the time. And then I was tracking fruits and vegetables. I had this dinners section. I also saw when I was going through the back of this one, all of this writing is not mine. I used to bring this to the gym. I had a personal trainer at the time, and she would write down in each section what we did for our workouts for that day. So I could go back and do them again on my own if I wanted. I just thought it was funny because I was looking at this handwriting. I was like, this is not my handwriting. And I realized that it was my trainer's. On to Bright Red. She was a fun girl. She was feisty. I thought I'd show you guys my word of the year spread because I was trying to decide which word I wanted, so I picked a bunch of words that I liked, and then once I decided which word I wanted, I colored it in. And then I think this was really popular at the time, but just like defining exactly what that word means. And then I found a quote that had to do with purpose. And here is an example of kind of what my dashboard looked like in 2017. So on this side, we had to-dos, meals, temperature, which I clearly didn't fill out. And then on the right-hand side, we just have a spot for every day of the week for some daily bullet journaling or things that were going on at the time, and then a notes section at the bottom. As I was going through here, I realized I really didn't fill out a lot. Like I would set it all up, and then I would not fill it out. I was not as attached to my journals as this time. But I do like going back and finding spreads like these. How does my anxiety look and feel? And then how can I manage it? I might recreate this spread somehow in one of my new journals with what works for me now. So I was doing a lot of attempts at a vertical spread. I think at the time I saw a lot of Erin Condren's, the beginnings of Hobonichi popularity, and I liked the idea of the vertical, but I didn't know how to utilize it. So this is a version where I did tasks up at the top, lunch and dinner, and then I left the rest open for daily journaling, and I ended up filling out this spread a lot more than some of my other dashboards. Getting into Teal Baby. We've now reached April 2018 to June, so not a very full book. And then also I stole this in October of 2022 for some journaling, but not a lot of journaling. This is a version of a gratitude log that I don't do anymore that I think maybe would be cool. Maybe even with some art incorporated in here. We have Cinco de Mayo on here. We have going to the pool on here. We have roller derby on here, ombre nails. So the things that I was just happy for at the time. This is May at the time. I just wanted to show this one off. It's horribly not filled out for a good chunk of the month, but it looks so pretty. And I think that was kind of, at the time, something that I was trying to come to realization with was that I spent all this time to make it look pretty and it had no function. And that's something that I work really hard to have more of a balance now. I also spelled success wrong and I just realized that. But it's funny because it says success doesn't come from what you do occasionally, it's from what you do consistently. And clearly I had no consistency at the time. So it's almost like proving it to myself that this was not functional for me, this was just pretty. This whole book is really empty, and I think that's because I was not consistent at this time in my life. 2018, I was switching between jobs. I was really struggling to do anything other than focus at work. I repicked up a new bullet journal, being really depressed that there was a gap. Technically this one goes to June and this one starts in July, but I really think that for most of May and June I really didn't do anything in that one. This one's covered in stickers. We were really big on brewery hopping at the time. We went to Colorado apparently during this time period. Colorado sticker. I am in love with this spread. This is a 1 line a day, which I only filled out a little bit, a month of to-dos, and then it is a Dutch door of weekly spreads. So you can see all the weeks that I had little doodles, I had meal planning, and I filled it out, kind of, not a ton. And then on the last page I had a habit tracker, which is sparingly filled out. But yeah, this one I'm really proud. It's got some decoration, but it's got a lot more function than some of the other ones in the past bullet journals. Here's another one that I was really proud of. It has tons of art, but then in the center you get all of your kind of weekly dashboard stuff. So you have working out. I didn't check stuff off at the time, so I don't know if I worked out these days or I had like food. I don't know if I actually ate that food that day. Usually I write down if it's something changes. And then this was another really cool weekly dashboard that I just thought was worth showing. This had my week on one side with a workout plan, and then my meal plan, which based off of this, it kind of looks like I filled it out as I went versus like filling it out at the beginning of the week, and a grocery list. And then I had some sticky notes in here. I'm starting to like tip stuff in, even if it was just sticky notes. I also thought if somebody might find use out of this was me reorganizing my entire pantry at my old house. So I actually drew out where I wanted things, where I thought things would fit best. And then I wrote down the things I would need to make these containers happen and which shelves I wanted which items. So I thought I'd leave this available for people to look at, because this was so helpful to me that I actually found another one when we moved into our new house. It looks exactly like this, but with different stuff. But yeah, I thought that this was a really cool idea to kind of visualize what you're trying to do, so that way when you go to do it, it's a lot quicker than just wandering around your pantry. This piece of washi that I just like ditched on this planner. This one is January through December 2019. So if we look back here, yeah, I'm filling this out until almost the last page. This is actually my most successful one. And I remember having this and being in love with my green one. I was sad when I was done with green. So in this book specifically, and this is pretty early on in the book, I wanted all of the prettiness, but I wanted it to be super functional, and I didn't want to spend time drawing. So none of these stickers are mine. I became hardcore obsessed with planning with Kay. She has monthly kits for bullet journals specifically that have some functional items and then a lot of decor, and it basically took the guesswork out of having to design my themes for the month. This was a cherry blossoms one, which is super pretty. It had all of these really large headers at the top. And then I just had to pick colors of pens or markers that went along with it. So everything looked super cohesive. And I didn't have to put in a ton of effort decor-wise, so it became a lot more functional for me because I didn't have to put in the creative effort. Here's another version of this. So she did a gemstone one. I still had some gemstone stickers left over that I recently used, but she had these really pretty gemstones. And then again, I only had to pick the marker colors that I thought would match it. So as you can see, at this time in my life, I wasn't really using it at all. I created all of this, but the problem was I had no creative reason to come back to it. So I put in all the stickers, and then I literally didn't brain dump, barely wrote what I did this week, did not have to-do lists. And so it kind of looks sad almost, because although I love her stickers, I feel like I wasted them on a not motivated self. This is probably my favorite monthly kit she ever did. This like witchy, spooky October one. I love this monthly spread. I will probably recreate that again myself because it's so cute. But again, I was not good at filling out habit trackers, and I'm not great at it now. The month at a glance ones, I struggle to keep up with. I'm much better as a weekly habit tracker person. Fall bucket lists, moon phases, and what those moon phases are for in terms of like gratitude, releasing at bad energy, creating intentions. Yeah, this was very heavily decorated, and it is still my most used bullet journal. I'm a bit confused because I had my most successful bullet journal, and then I decided to completely change what I was doing. This is the only Hobonichi that I have bought, attempted to use, and kept. I've bought one in 2021, I bought one in 2022. Both times I put tabs in it and I immediately sold it because it wasn't gonna work for me. This year I decided not to purchase one. And I'm kind of sad that I didn't, even though I haven't been using them. I did not understand the vertical weekly at all. I had not been used to vertical time blocking in quite a while. I decided to try and separate it. And I was not used to how small the grid was on this compared to the dot grid of the Leuchtturm. I very quickly stopped using it. I think by like middle of March, all of these weekly spreads are blank, which is such a waste of this old Tomoe River paper that is no longer being used by Hobonichi. It's actually really sad. My dailies are not a daily keeper of what is going on day to day. They were very artistic collections, work notes and meetings. Like this is me talking about interview questions and how I would answer them. I really liked this, so I wanted to show this off. And then yeah, like just big quotes. And my yearly goal at the end of January was to stop comparing myself to other people. I used quite a bit of this, but it's kind of off and on. So eventually, I think because this is 2020, global events transpired, and I stopped having motivation to do this. So I do have a good chunk of this that is blank still, that I may go and pull out because this is really nice paper. And then halfway through March, I got really down and I missed my Leuchtturm, and so I brought it back. I thought this was really interesting because one of the first couple spreads I made in here, was my ideal daily routine in like a perfect world where nothing pandemic-y is going on. And then my alternate routine for what life was like when we were in lockdown. I just thought this was a really cool thing to look back on at this point in my life, because there's a lot of that point that I don't really remember. And so looking back and seeing this is a memory keeping all by itself. I was really down during this time. Most of this book is blank. Like almost all this book is blank. I was really down about myself. I do have 3 more books. I think I only have, I have 1 sticky note in here. All these books are grocery lists. They're just grocery lists. There's no weekly spreads. There's no inspiration from it. It's just grocery lists. This is a really I was really getting unmotivated with bullet journaling as a whole until April of last year. April of last year, I was on YouTube. I saw Astrology, which I'd never heard before. I saw that there was a size called a B6, which for those of you who don't know, this is an A5, slightly skinnier and slightly shorter. And I thought, less room to fill up. That sounds great. I just got a regular black one. This is a 365. And I just had this goal for myself. I said, I want to try and fill this whole book up. And I almost did. Like, there's only a couple pages in the back. It got rather chunky. Not super chunky. I've seen some chonky ones. But it got pretty chunky. I kind of started very similarly to how I had been starting. You know, we have a monthly spread. I wrote in yellow, so you can't read it, but this is May. I have this really cool idea of highlighting the weekends so I could tell the difference on this type of spread where you have 1 to 31 on the side. And then I just set up like a weekly on 1 page. And this is kind of the same thing that I kept for quite a while in this book, almost the whole book. About halfway through the year, I started tipping things in. Like this, we were in Vegas for our anniversary, so I tipped in the card that the steakhouse had at our table when we got there. I really liked seeing other people online use this paper for what it is. It's really nice paper. It takes ink and takes watercolor really well. This is watercolor. So I watercolored a couple pages in a row. And yeah, this is really the epitome of what my weekly dashboards looked like for all of last year. I had a week on 1 page with some deco, and I had my grocery list on the other side. I really started loving putting ephemera into things. You started using stickers again, but not kits, just more fun stickers. This is my favorite spread of this entire book. I am obsessed with it. I love how filled out these pages are. I loved adding fun memories, even if they are not plans. I went back and refilled it out with things that I did that day. I loved all of the fun washi that I had. I put this giant sticker here because nothing ever happens on Mondays. And I filled out a good chunk of my my habit tracker. This month I made a goal for myself to try and journal every single day of the month. And I did it. Like this, hold on, let me find it. This entire section right here is all dailies, where I journaled every single freaking day in October, and I was really proud of myself. I just really love that this became a good memory keeper. Like I have an Apple sticker, and I know that I got my new iPhone that day, as silly as that sounds, but yeah, this was the last book I had. I finished it right at the end of November with I think only like 2 or 3 pages left, and then I started on my new one, which is the one you guys see currently. So if you guys have any questions, I could do a more thorough flip through if I actually like covered up some stuff. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this and it was helpful, and hope to see you guys again soon.